This beautiful woman is a producer, reporter, and founder of Tall Swag, a multimedia blog site with themes of self-acceptance and empowerment. She is a reporter and social media manager for a CBS Sports show centered around women's sports. And she is the former senior manager of game operations at the Golden State Warriors, holding 3 rings. Congratulations. Please welcome to the stage, Alicia J. Show her some love. Yay.
Alicia, thank you for being here. We got the rap backstage and it's just telling you how grateful we all are for putting this together in court and the team, like just making it happen. Can you bring all of us in and tell us about Tall Swag, please?
Well, obviously I'm tall, so there's that. But Tall Swag was born because I used to hate my height. I used to hate it. And, you know, growing up, you have to understand, like, I'm at my big age now, but going into middle school, I was 6'3". And I was also in a community where nobody looked like me at all. And so I was bullied. I mean, I remember one day, and I told you guys this story, I was going down the hallway, and there was a group of kids. I thought it was, you know, kind of weird, but I just kept going, and I didn't talk to anybody. I always was slouching, had my head down, and one of them tripped me, and the other one said timber on the way down. And that's the kind of stuff that I was dealing with, on top of teachers, you know, calling me stupid, bringing me up in front of class because they knew that they could do that to the black kid, right? So, you know, and just to give you context, I grew up in Beaverton, Oregon, and it sounds exactly like it is.
A lot of beavers, a lot of beavers.
Yeah, so when I went to college, because I went to University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. Y'all know, okay. I played basketball there, small D1. I saw other women who were like loving their height, and they owned it, and there was nothing wrong with it. And I was like, you can like being tall? Like, literally. And it like hit me that I had been believing these lies that people were telling me. And I just started to love it, and I never looked back. And I decided I needed Tall Swag. I needed that. Other women needed it. Other people, not just women, need to see that you can love yourself, and you should love yourself just the way you are.
Yes. I mean, you're gorgeous, so I just want to put that out there for anyone that didn't notice. I mean, I'm sure everyone noticed.
I will claim it. Thank you.
Yes, please do. That's what this is all about.
Yes.
I feel like you really own your story now, and I feel like there's so much power in owning your story, right? And then also showing other people through your platform that you're owning your story.
Yes.
So when you think about how you hope to impact people with Tall Swag and showing people that self-acceptance is the way to go, what kind of impact do you hope to make?
I just want people to see somebody that they need to see. You know, I think that is the most powerful thing that you can do. When we talk about ownership, everybody in here owns their story. Everyone in here owns who they are. We're built to tell our stories. And so when people come to Tall Swag or even see me walk down the street, I want them to see somebody who owns who they are, loves who they are, and just inspire others to do the same. I needed that when I was growing up. So if I can embody the person that I needed, I will take it all day.
While people are clapping, you keep going because you got a few rings with the Warriors. And so
3.
3 to be exact.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your role with them, but then also what it was like being a black woman in a major sports organization like that? I'm really fascinated to know about that side of things.
We could do like a whole series just on that alone. But just to give you context, I started with the Warriors in the We Believe season. That was my first year. Fantastic season. Like, to me, it was my favorite. And my last year was the last year in Oracle. So I had an amazing run. And when you go into a game and you see the performers, you see the national anthem, You see the videos that are on the video board. All of that, that's what game operations is. So it's everything you see in the arena or bowl that is not the actual play of the players. So you can imagine in that role, I learned everything because I had to produce pieces for the video board. So a lot of interviewing of players, that kind of thing. And then I also had to manage a lot of talent. I had to make sure that I was on time for things. There's so many things that, every little part of the game we produced. So it was amazing, and it's given me a skill set that I can use anywhere and do anything. Now, being a woman in sports and being a black woman in sports, it is not easy. It is not easy. Ultimately, I will say this, I had to choose myself and leave something that was not serving me.
And now you've had a major pivot, right? So now you are a social media manager and reporter for a CBS, produced sports show. Yes. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what is so important about that platform and having a women's centered sports show with women?
It is a blessing to work with all of these phenomenal women. There's, I want to say 14 women that are on our show, and I'm talking about Lisa Leslie, Swin Cash, Sarah Kustok, like all of these amazing women that I have looked up to. And so now I'm working with them. It's called We Need to Talk. It's an all-women's sports show, talking about all sports. So it's not just women's sports, even though women's sports are amazing. And if you don't know, you need to know, period. But it's a blessing to be in that space. They never had social. The show's been on for almost 10 years now. Never had social, and so they brought me on to start the channels. They've been doing really well. It's just amazing to see how people are reacting to it. And also just to show the show. These phenomenal women are on there doing their thing. Like, it should be showcased, talking about sports and just being phenomenal women. But then also I'm a reporter, so I do, one of my favorite pieces that we ever did is, and this is crazy to think that this has never been done, but in Portland, Oregon, actually where I'm from, they have a bar that shows only women's sports, nothing else. And it was the first one of its kind. Jenny Nguyen started it about 10 months ago now, 10, 11 months ago, and it's been insanely popular on every level. It's called the Sports Bra. And I know.
I like it.
Marketing.
Going to Portland just to go to the Sports Bra.
Right. And, I did a piece on that. I interviewed her for it, and it was so powerful. But just pieces like that are things that I do for We Need to Talk and the social brands.
Wow. So CBS, they never had social. Well, not CBS, but this particular sports
Yeah,
channel.
We Need to Talk.
We Need to Talk. But then we got to give a quick shout out to the writer's strike, the actor's strike, everything that's happening
yes.
now. And because a part of that is trying to figure out the pivot to streaming and YouTube and royalties and all. It's a lot of different things happening, but part of that is that conversation. So for you bringing the idea and sort of curating it, how watching Stephen A. build his own channels, Shannon Sharp leave all these people, what were some of your thoughts and feelings in the sports space, watching ESPN essentially have a whole overhaul?
I think in general, in broadcast right now, there's an overhaul going on, not just with ESPN. Because of the streaming services and things like that, it is a different landscape, and so things are changing, And personally, being in social, I know that we are on the forefront of these changes, right? Because we're getting all of these things out there. We're using our platforms in different ways. And so it's kind of, it's kind of a weird place to be in when you see the broadcast landscape changing like that. But it's definitely doing that across the board.
So Alicia, I want to talk a little bit about Tall Swag. I want to bring it back to Tall Swag. You've worked for all these major organizations, CBS, the Warriors, and then you also have your own brand. And can we talk about what it's like and what you're able to do when you own your own platform and you have followers, and what is the importance of that for you?
Well, the importance is whenever you work for someone else, you don't own anything. You don't. You can create things, you can bring things to fruition, but they're not yours to take or to say, that's mine. And so tall swag is mine. And it's something that I can do anything with. Like I have aspirations to, like right now it's mainly talking about confidence. It's talking about what to wear as a tall person because it's hard to find clothes. There's a lot of different things that it's talking about, but I want to take it even further. There's so many creative gifts that God has given me, and I want to use them all with my brand. So listen, I love a check coming in, every 2 weeks. That's beautiful, but I have to work for myself. I have to take something with me, for me, my family, my history, all of that thing. Like I have to take that for myself.
Alicia J. And also, for everyone in the room, how tall are you? Just because.
I am 6'6" without heels on.
So today we're looking at like 6'8".
Yeah.
So with the heels, we're talking.
It depends, because I wear up to a 6-inch heel.
Damn.
So, okay.
I respect your ankles and your arches.
Yeah.
6 inch. Well done.
It depends on the event.
Before we let you go, can you leave us with anything? What are you working on? What should we look at? What we be looking out for? Where can we find everything? Let us know.
I would follow We Need to Talk because, I'm very passionate. Obviously, I played sports. I played basketball. I've been working in sports since a long time. And, I do love my job. I do love what I do. Don't get it twisted. Like, it is a blessing to have that, and it's a blessing to build things around women and women in sports. But personally, so I would definitely follow at We Need to Talk for sure. There's some really cool things coming that I cannot say that involve me. Ooh. And also it's important to know too, you are your brand also. So
Absolutely.
Like what I'm working on with them ultimately is going to serve me too. And I'm glad to be in a position to do that. But on the tall swag side, I have some high aspirations, obviously. You shouldn't have low ones, okay? But I want to do a children's book. I think it is so important for children to see themselves, and I was always tall. Like, we forget that children are tall, too. And so there really isn't, like, a lot of representation in that respect. I have a scripted series, and then also, like, a reality-based series that I'm shopping around. So all having to do with being tall. So.
Woo. So follow.
Keep it going, y'all. This is Alicia J. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.